Alright guys, now that 2025 is officially here, I figured it'd be a good idea to just do a rundown of everything that's wrong with my car that I need to get fixed this year, but it came out to being a lot more things than I thought, so we're gonna go through everything that's wrong with my Audi currently, and that's gonna be pretty hefty total if I'm not mistaken. So I figured the way I do this is by doing a cost breakdown or maybe a list, probably going in order of what's not functioning properly on my vehicle, and then giving a price for the OEM part and then the part that I'm planning to get, so like the aftermarket thing. And then we can do a roundup on the two items and see exactly the cost breakdown on OEM versus aftermarket. With that being said, welcome back everyone to the channel. This is Cuddly Wudderly Audi Buddy number 3345, and we got a new video. So first things first, before we can even jump into that video, my car is super dirty. Like, I haven't washed this in maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe almost a month. You can see how much brake dust is on that wheel, and I'm always driving through some dirt because they're doing some construction around my home. So it just looks nasty. I went to a car meet like this the other day, and this is how disgusting my car looked. It might rain too. I think there's like a 20% chance of rain today, but you know, when your car needs to be cleaned, you gotta clean it. You gotta take care of the paint. So we're gonna go ahead and get that knocked out, and then we'll jump into the main portion of this video. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, so with my luck, of course now it's starting to sprinkle. Luckily the car for the most part is already washed and everything. I just finished doing a really fast clean on the wheels, but we're gonna have to go ahead and move my fiance's car out of the garage because I'm not gonna let this hard work go to waste. We're gonna start moving this, and probably gonna have to wait to record the video till later because I don't want to record this in the rain, especially if I just washed the car. That's the M6's cold start. Spy on him. You could probably barely see it, but that's a nice car. Let's see if we can get him leaving. Alright, so now that we're in the garage, we're gonna have to go ahead and start drying her down, and then I might just make the video in here because, like I said, it's gonna be raining for like the next hour. Let's go ahead and start cleaning her up. Alright guys, so now that we got her all cleaned up, I'll go ahead and start with the breakdown of everything that's wrong with my vehicle. I'll probably just go through it by explaining what's damaged or what needs to be replaced. I'll pop up on here like what's the OEM Audi part versus the aftermarket part that I want to get, and we can start comparing the two totals. So the first thing on this list of what's damaged on my vehicle, I can't actually show you, but it's the motor mounts. So the mounts that hold the motor to the engine bay so that it's not jerking around everywhere in the engine bay. Yeah, they're actually fluid filled from Audi, and they tend to go out on these vehicles like around, some people report like 60k miles, some people report like 100k. My car just hit 65,000, and they were actually cooked like about I'd say like around 57k miles. But I do plan on getting some motor mounts from ECS Tuning. So sometimes you can catch them on sale, but I mean, it's not cheap, but I know it's very labor intensive, so I haven't swapped them out yet, but I do plan on doing that sometime in the future. The next thing is my rear brake pads and rotors. Now, I already have my replacements. I have some Zimmerman rotors with some Hawk 5.0 ceramic pads, but these things are like done for. As you can see, there's a lot of streaking. My brake pads are almost out. I've been riding on them for a while, and I've been meaning to replace them. I don't even want to know the cost. I'll find out when I'm editing this video, but I'm sure OEM is probably going to be like way more above that. The next item, it's something I would show you. It's in the engine bay. I just washed the car and I don't want to get water everywhere on the vehicle, but there's a coolant line that connects to the reservoir that you had to remove whenever you're doing spark plugs. A lot of people report that it's actually very, very fragile. So when I removed it, I guess I ended up damaging it, and it goes in and it holds the coolant, but it leaks like every now and then. So I have coolant literally just dripping down and it looks nasty. So I could get some aftermarket coolant lines that someone made to address those from TGK Motorsports, but I don't want to pay that much for that kit. I don't have that money right now. So actually I decided I'll just open the hood and show you guys. This is the leaking coolant line. You can see it's made a big mess down there, all on the sides, and down there if you could see all that. That is not required to fix right now, but just an annoyance. It's not leaking out like to the point where I'm getting scared that I'm gonna, you know, start overheating or whatever, but it's just a little thing that's annoying me, and it makes me embarrassed to open my hood at a car meet because I don't want people to see that, you know, like I don't take care of my car or something. Another thing I guess I didn't mention is this cowling that goes over this. I actually ended up breaking one of the tabs that go in somewhere around here, and the old one I had wouldn't stay anymore, so I ended up just removing that and tossing it. But I've been wanting to order a replacement for this off of Rock Auto, but it's been out of stock for like months, and I'm literally just waiting so I can order that and just throw it on here. It's not something super expensive. The next item on this, it's not something that's going out per se, but it's something that I want to swap as preventive maintenance. That's the PCV, so the positive crankcase ventilation. On Audis, those things are known to be kind of iffy. They go out a lot. Once we plan on doing some updates to the vehicle, that's probably something we're going to swap in here, is the PCV. You're already going to be down into the engine bay, so might as well just do the PCV while we're at it. There are also some other items that go along with that, like some gaskets for like oil lines, coolant lines, oil check valve, and just some miscellaneous things. And the next thing that's actually wrong with my vehicle, this rear airbag. I actually ended up having to swap the front passenger side airbag or air strut because it popped on me while I was working on the vehicle in the garage. But at the same time, this airbag, I know there's a leak. I just can't find the leak, and I think it's on the actual airbag. I'm gonna have to end up swapping this one out. I already have the part for it, but I'm just been too lazy to do it. Same thing with like my rotors. I got to change those out, but I actually bought an aftermarket part for that, so I'm not gonna go OE again or OEM, because it's way too expensive, especially for the air strut. It was already like 800 bucks for that, and OEM would probably be like 1,000 plus. It's always good to try to save a good bit of money where you can, especially when you're working on German cars, because man, the price can rack up, especially if you're not doing your own work. It's just crazy how much some of these things can cost. The next thing that I feel needs to be replaced on this, it's not confirmed, but it's just a suspicion, but it's actually this and this guy right here. So those are the high pressure fuel pumps for this 4.0T. It does have two, and these are known to have the seals go out and kind of leak. And with these leaky seals, people say that the gas gets into the oil and mixed in. And one of the signs of that is if you take off your gas cap and you give it a sniff, you can smell gas in the gas, I guess, reservoir. And I'm certainly smelling some gas in there. So it could either be from the high pressure fuel pumps or the PCV. I'm waiting until we can swap the PCV to determine if that's what it is, because the high pressure fuel pumps, even the OE replacements from Hitachi, I think, like the OE ones, they're pretty expensive, and I don't need just one, I need two. So I don't know, at that point, do I just upgrade the internals? But the internals are probably somewhere around the same price to upgrade. But if I upgrade the internals, I can run full E85 on this car. So I don't know, there's a lot of stuff to think about here, and I'm not sure where I want to go with that yet. But all right, guys, that's gonna be it for this. That's really everything I could think of that's wrong with my car that I'm gonna have to either address very soon or at least this year. Hopefully this kind of gave you some insight on like things that can go wrong with these cars. Maybe you're in the market for one and you stumble across my video. This could be a good idea or representation of what type of things you can expect that would go out, and as well as the costs. So I don't know, if you guys have any questions, you can ask them in the comments. I respond to almost literally, I think, like every single comment, unless it's just like a comment I can't respond to. But yeah, if you have questions on anything on my build or just the build in general, let me know, and yeah, I'll answer your questions. You can also message me on any of my social medias if you know those. Yeah, I think that's about it. So we'll see you guys in the next one, and later.